Hi guys, Tausif here with Walk and Talk Cricket. Today's episode we'll be talking about the T20 World Cup, and first team we're covering today is Pakistan. What are Pakistan's chances of winning this World Cup and or making it to the semi-finals? So we'll just I'll talk you through. So Pakistan, obviously the positives for Pakistan going into this World Cup are they've played in UAE more than any other team. Obviously, by default, the home games used to be played in between 2010 and 20 in UAE, so they're familiar with the conditions. Secondly, Pakistan probably got their squad right in the end, after injuries or whatever. So in terms of their batting, they've got two experienced guys, very experienced guys back. So Shoaib, Malik, 39-year-old, and Hafeez just turned 41. Both are well-respected T20 players around the globe. So with those two in the middle order, and in UAE the games being not very high scoring, between 150-60, you need experience, and I think now Pakistan got that. The other advantage I guess Pakistan would have is that they're playing with kind of six all-rounders, and all six of them bowl spin. So I know like Shoaib Malik may or may not bowl, but you're looking at Shadab, the leg spinner, Imad Wasim, left-arm spinner, Mohammad Nawaz, left-arm spinner who can bat. Obviously Hafeez bowls as well. So I guess like they've got, and Shoaib Malik might bowl, so they've got like technically they've got 6 spin bowling option, 1 wrist spinner and 5 finger spinners. So that's, and I guess apart from Imad Wasim, rest of all could probably bat in top 6. So they've got quite a sort of for those conditions I would say is quite a strong sort of middle order as well as the all-rounder options. Because the Pakistan games are at night, I think they're starting at 6 o'clock, so the sunset in UAE around this time of the year is around between 5:30 and 6. So I guess in the second innings the dew might be a factor, because past 6 o'clock obviously the temperature drops down when the sun is down, and there's likely dew factor in the second innings. For Pakistan advantage, they would have at least 7 or 8 bowling options regardless of what combination they play, so which is great, because I guess they must go with 3 fast bowlers, keeping in mind that the games are at night. It might help with the dew. Some skitty bowlers like Hassan Ali and Haris Rauf might surprise people. On the other hand, like if they make it to the semi-finals and the other like later stages, the tracks might be a lot slower, but then they still have 6 spin bowling options to fall back on. So it will be interesting in what combination Pakistan plays, but regardless of whatever combination they play, they will have at least 7, probably at least 8 bowling options if Shoaib Malik rolls his arm over. So that's to Pakistan advantage. So what's Pakistan's disadvantage? Maybe one more advantage I can talk about is how the pool games are going of the qualifying round. So Pakistan is in Pakistan pool, they're likely to get first team from pool B in the qualifying round and second team from pool A. So by the looks of things, second team of pool A would be either Ireland or Netherlands, probably more likely Ireland. And because Scotland upset Bangladesh, so it looks like they will be top of the table. In that case, Pakistan will be playing Scotland and Ireland. They're not bad teams, but when they're playing in UAE conditions, obviously Pakistan should have an advantage. You'd rather play Scotland than Bangladesh any day, and especially in those conditions anyways. Similarly, you would rather play Ireland than Sri Lanka in UAE, because Sri Lanka's got some good bowlers. So the way things are shaping up, Pakistan's pool will have obviously Afghanistan, New Zealand, India, and then Scotland and Ireland. So if Pakistan beats either one, New Zealand or India, they should cruise to the semi-finals, because other games they're expected to win, unless obviously they're unpredictable. But hopefully, sort of, if they do what was expected of them, they should make it to the semi-final. Just because how the pools are shaping up, just maybe sheer luck. Other thing is, like, the disadvantages Pakistan has is obviously there's a lot of shuffle in the cricket board recently. The coaches have been obviously resigned, and new coaches have just been brought in. There was Shoaib Malik wasn't in the original squad, and then Shoaib got injured and he got in. Pakistan made changes, 3 changes to their original 15-member World Cup squad. There was a lot of eyebrows raised about some selections prior to the final selection. So there's a lot happening, as we can see, and when there's a lot happening at cricket board or coaches and all that stuff, it can affect obviously your output. But I really hope that it's a blessing in disguise for Pakistan. The changes they brought in are, so Shoaib Malik got in and Sarfaraz got in. So Sarfaraz obviously would be a backup keeper, but with his experience as a team member, it will help that obviously he was probably the most successful T20 captain Pakistan has ever had. So his presence in the changing room will probably help, and he won't be a bad backup to Rizwan. Other positives for Pakistan, obviously Rizwan is in form of his life. Babar Azam is still doing okay. So I guess, like, they've got 2 guys who are pretty consistent for last, I would say, 24 months or so. So that sort of, and both of them are playing at the top. So I guess that's going to help Pakistan set up good foundation. And then they've got, as I said, like Shoaib Malik and Hafeez. So Pakistan probably, if we're chasing something like 160, 150, 60, Pakistan got the experience in the middle, and then 2 good informed players at the top. So I mean, I guess, like, putting that together, Pakistan got a good possibility of sort of outplaying most of the teams, primarily because UAE has been their home ground. They've got a good mixture of senior and sort of experienced and young guys. Their fast bowlers are quite explosive. They've got, in my opinion, they've got covered all the areas. If you say, like, if it's a wet track, it's like it's a dew factor in your bowling, so you kind of leave out, not leave out, but maybe Shoaib can bowl 1 or 2 overs, or maybe none, and then your Hafeez and Imad Wasim can bowl 4 each. So they've got 6 spin bowling options, and out of 6, probably all can bat. And I would say, apart from Imad Wasim, other 5 bowling options can actually bat in top 6. So the depth Pakistan has in the spin bowling department for this World Cup is amazing. 2 young fast bowlers they've put in. They've got 4 fast bowlers: Shaheen, Shah Afridi, Hassan Ali, then Haris Rauf and Mohammad Wasim. Haris Rauf and Mohammad Wasim, 2 completely different bowlers. Mohammad Wasim, into the dig bowler, deceptive, bowls good bouncers, whereas Haris Rauf is a skiddy bowler. So I guess if you play to the conditions, you have a very good chance that against big teams like, say, India or New Zealand, India wouldn't, or both of them wouldn't have seen. Well, I guess, like, Haris Rauf been around for a while, but no one would have seen Mohammad Wasim. So I think it will be interesting how the team selection would be quite interesting, because Pakistan needs to leave out 4 people. I guess 1 fast bowler would sit out straight away, 1 batsman, probably Haider Ali to start with, and a keeper. But you still need to leave out 1 more person, so it could be your power hitter, Asif. Well, I mean, you can play him against New Zealand on a smaller Sharjah ground, and rest him against India on a bigger Dubai ground. It's not a huge difference, but still, Sharjah is postage stamp. Sharjah is tiny. So So yeah, so I think like in terms of the options they have available, uh, they will be playing 5 spin bowlers or all-rounder, like spin bowling all-rounders regardless, and that means that if they play 3 fast bowlers, they probably will have at least 7 or 8 bowling options every single game, and that's probably something which will work in Pakistan's favor. So in short, I think Pakistan this time around, Pakistan is most likely to beat India. The reason I would say Pakistan is likely to beat India is obviously Indian Premier League has recently been played. It's a big event. It's quite draining, and there have been some surprise selections in Indian squad. I know Pakistan has actually struggled against their wrist spinners, and they haven't picked any. So it will be very interesting. Dubai, obviously, slightly bigger ground than Sharjah. The experience of we've got 2 experienced middle order batsmen, 2 consistent opening batsmen, and Fakhar Zaman. I know he scored 100 4 years ago in the Champions Trophy, but hey, I know it's 4 years ago, but he would be probably motivated by that. So I guess he will be batting at 3, and he will try to attack the Indian bowlers. So probably Pakistan, Pakistan most likely will surprise India in this T20 World Cup. So if Pakistan beat India, and they're expected to beat Scotland, Afghanistan, Ireland, so they have a good chance of making the semi-finals. So I will leave it there today for Pakistan, and I think they should make it to top 4. Possibly, I think between India and New Zealand, one will go through. But it's just a combination of a few things that just worked out well for Pakistan. So I'll come back with another episode on another team, possibly India next, and then we'll talk about New Zealand, and then we'll go through all the teams in next 4 days before the actual World Cup starts. Thank you so much for watching. See you. Bye bye.